What's up, my people? Now it's time. It's just 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman 2. Right?
2 weeks? That's crazy.
Big deal. Big deal. It's already here. We've been waiting for the longest. This is for those that don't know. This is the second fight. After their first fight, Colby Covington went ahead and fought Tyron Woodley and won by broken rib. If you remember, my rib. All right.
don't be a guy like that. Come on now. Come on.
then Kamaru Usman went and defended his title 3 times, twice against Jorge Masvidal and once against Gilbert Burns, and having probably the knockout of the year already. So, with that being said, now there's been enough talk spoken about this fight. Like if you look at the social media, you would see that everybody is predicting Usman to win, rightfully so. He's a dominant champion. But what I'm most interested in, is what is the path of victory for Colby Covington, right? Well, let's say you're a Colby Covington fan. We know how his fans are. Very young boys, petty boys, whatever. Listen, I'm going to Yagi first. Yagi.
I
want this question.
I want you, Yagi. I want you to let's assume you're a Colby Covington fan. Convince me that Colby Covington will beat Kamaru Usman, and how will he do it?
Because I don't believe he can. I have every counter argument against it, but I can try. So first of all, and this probably is not the answer you're looking for, but I have studied this fight in my head for a long time. Is Colby a good fighter? Yes. I will never say he's not a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. Is he the second best in the division? I'm not willing to say yes. Did he give Usman a tough fight? The answer is yes. But just giving Usman a tough fight does not mean you're the second best in the division.
Wait, sorry, I see Mayua. Yagi, I will come back to Usman beating Colby, right? I want you to tell me how Colby will beat Usman.
Okay, the only way plausible for Colby to beat Usman is if Colby starts wrestling early. Because one thing Colby has always said is, I'm going to wrestle early. The reason he's saying that is because when Usman fought Masvidal the second time, in the first round, after he took Masvidal down, he started swinging wildly. So in Colby's mind, Usman gassed out. So that's the way to beat Usman. Put pressure on him early. Then at least you take away the pop from his punches, and then you can win. Maybe a 5-round decision, or even when Usman is tired, you might even finish him. So that is the only possible way I can see Colby winning that fight.
Okay.
She answered your question.
Yes, thank you for answering my question.
My blood is next week, thinking about that possibility.
All right. Honestly, just to top off, the only way I see Colby beating Usman, honestly, is like one of those accidents, something that is not in the realm of art. Like, let's say a mistake happened, Kamaru twisting knee, he fight because of like a knee, he's working on buckled knees, because that's if Colby start to kick those legs, maybe that's the only thing I can think of. But I'm going to get to you, my body. But honestly, I just think that just maybe one of those accidents will probably be a part of victory for Colby, which would not have anything to do with his effort, if you understand what I mean. Mayowa, same question to you. What is the path to victory for Colby Covington against Kamaru Usman?
I've been consistent with these things for the beginning since before the first time. They're not going to wrestle, not much. Wrestlers, these guys know each other from when they were in college together wrestling. Like the wrestling circuit in America here is very small. They all know each other. They know each other as wrestlers, and they know deep down what their credentials are, both of them as wrestlers. I think Usman is a better wrestler for MMA, and he has a better gas tank slightly, but they're not going to wrestle. Usman has already said it in his interviews coming leading to this fight. He said the way he felt in that fight, the excitement he felt, the fun he had, he wants to have it again, and that's why he chose to do this rematch. Usman doesn't fight anybody that is a wrestler by wrestling them, so he's not going to wrestle. Colby is the second guy who also doesn't fight anybody that is a wrestler by wrestling them. The only person that they both fought that was a wrestler that they wrestled was Woodley. Everybody else, they stand. Maya, even RD a little bit. they stand and they give them a standing fight. They're going to fight this fight the same way. I think that Usman is a better version of Colby, right? But styles make fights. And I think that if you watch the first fight, I just watched that fight again maybe a week ago. So if Colby works on his power, right? His power punches, and he can generate, maybe he works on his technique, and he can land more powerful punches than he did in the first fight. He can hurt Usman. Listen, Usman is almost indestructible, but we can't deny what we've seen. Burns has hurt Usman in the fight before. Colby, pillow hands Colby, had some very, very, and we can deceive ourselves and argue and, represent our guy all we want. There was a very, very scary moment in that fight. Up until round five, there was very, very, and Usman doesn't, I don't like, if there's a weakness for Usman that I see as our guy, I don't like how he ducks his head down when he gets hit with a shot. He kind of does like this, right? And it can be timed. That's the. I think that if Colby focuses on the kickboxing fight and he focuses on trying to get his power punches, accurately, and land with power, with intention, I think that he has a chance. That's the best chance to win. Like I said, I think everything that Colby does. This is why, for me, truthfully, and I guess we'll get there later, I feel like I'm more comfortable in this fight than I was against Masvidal or Burns, because they had a part of victory that you said, okay, this guy is a knockout artist, he has good boxing, or this one has power and he has jiu-jitsu, so he can submit him. I think Colby and Usman are very, very similar. I think Usman is just slightly better than him. So everything that Colby can do, Usman does just slightly better, right? Maybe not slightly, but he does better a little bit. So striking, Usman has more power. Wrestling, I think Usman is better wrestler a little bit. I think cardio, Usman is the one guy that has the cardio that Colby has, right? But I think that if there's any path to victory for Colby, do what he did the first fight, just with more power and more intention and more pop on the punches, and say, listen, I want to finish, fight him like he wants to finish him. And that will surprise everybody, because I don't think everybody expects Colby to be the guy to finish Usman on the feet. So he should be taking that way and saying, listen, if I can put my punches together, I landed over 100 strikes in the first fight, I can do it again. And I can do this time more power, more intention.
Okay, we are working with narratives that we were forcing, right? So, well, I know that the reason why Usman is not kicking his legs most of the time in his fights is because whenever they try leg kicks, after the first, second one, he catches the leg and they go down, yeah? But
I forgot about that, actually.
Yes, would Colby be afraid of throwing leg kicks, right?
No.
Even though it's not his style, he will not be afraid to throw leg kicks, right? And well, that's something that is interesting to watch in this fight. People are going to be watching the wrestling. I probably think if this fight would be one of those fights that people will cheer wrestlers, because let's say Colby has like his MAGA fans in there. Let's say 70% of the Madison Square Garden is packed with MAGA guys. If he just takes Usman down, or more, they go cheer. You understand? And we know that fans don't like takedowns, right? They don't like takedowns and then walking on the ground. And I think this is one of those fights that they will cheer for wrestling. Anyways, now let's come back to reality. All right, Yagi. Now tell me, how would Usman beat Colby?
Okay. I like sometimes in the middle of the day, I just start thinking about this fight. So the first things first, you can't be out over a year and expect to beat an active Usman. Usman, if you think about the first fight was December 14, 2019. Before that fight, Usman hadn't fought till March. Colby had fought in August. So Colby was already ready. You get what I'm saying? He had already come out of a fight camp. But now you're looking at a scenario where Usman fought Masvidal, Burns, Masvidal, right? Now, Colby fought Woodley. That's the Woodley Usman toyed with how many years ago? Burns beat Woodley. Had Colby fought someone like maybe a Burns and beat a Burns, then we'd be like, okay, there is something in here. But you can't fight Woodley and then sit out a whole year and expect to fight and beat Usman. That's one. Two, the gym Colby's at. He's at MMA Masters. I've gone through MMA Masters roster. Those guys, they don't have any welterweight that is going to mimic Usman. Like, what are you going to do? Kobe's probably by far the best wrestler in that gym. The next welterweight in there is Miguel Baeza, and he's not a wrestler. He's not even a grappler. He's a striker. I'm not even sure I don't rate MMA Masters. Amanda Nunes was an MMA Masters and she was getting her ass whooped. So I don't really rate that gym per se. Fun fact, that gym's first 5-round fight that they ever coached was when Kobe fought Woodley. Ever. That's a gym, ever. Compared to the gyms like AKA and Sanford. The next thing is, okay, Mayowa brought out the point that this is going to be like the first fight. If it's going to be like the first fight, of whose benefit is that? Usman. Because if you look at the first fight against Colby, Usman never fights like that. Never. Ever fights like if Usman fought like that against Masvidal, when they went to fight Thailand, now today where Usman would they wake up? Because they would have knocked him senseless out if he fought Colby that same way. But now he has improved the striking, and he's been with Whitman for a long time. He has improved the striking, and he has gained confidence too in that striking. I don't expect Colby to come out very fast in the first round because those jitters of him not being in the octagon for over a year is going to step in by the time he enters that octagon. So that first round, it might even be like a filling out process that first round before they actually get into the fight. So, okay, are you going to wrestle Usman? Like, come on, Woodley took you down. Woodley in 2020 took you down. RDA took you down. Dorian King took you down. Like, if you think, okay, maybe if I wrestle Usman, he'll get tired. How about you? Won't you get tired too? Like, people say Usman got tired against Masvidal, but a couple seconds later, Masvidal was sleeping in the shadow room. So, I don't know. I've gone through every single scenario. Usman can win that fight in the clinch like he beat Masvidal the first time. Stronger than Colby in the clinch. He can beat Masvidal and Colby striking. The only way I think Usman might lose this fight is if he underrates Colby. And that is not Usman. If he underrates Colby and he thinks, oh, everybody's telling you, pound for pound, number one. Oh, you're going to win. Like Jibril said, everybody's saying Usman will win. If Usman goes in there overconfident, Wahala can gas. So that's my own point. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I've gone through every single scenario. Is it cardio? Usman was never tired that first fight. Is he wrestling? Usman has never been taken down in the UFC. Is he striking? Usman has knocked out boys. Kobe, I remember last time Kobe legit knocked out somebody. In fact, this is the last point I'll bring out. Kobe has fought 18 fights, right? He has 3 KOs. 2 out of those 3 KOs were by injury to the opponent. It's not because he's actually. So you can't tell me all of a sudden he will now have popping his punches and now kill this one. So that's my bias take.
Hey, nice one. Drop the mic. That's the end of your TED talk.
I'm not.
Mayowa,
Yes,
has he taken all your points or?
I don't. Me and Yagi have been going back and forth on Colby and Usman since the first fight because I've been telling Yagi, I know what I felt when I was in Nigeria. I was in Abuja that day. It was about 8:30 a.m. in the morning when they fought. It's very, very early, and I don't sleep the whole night. I don't want to show the night before. I was tired and I had to watch this fight. And I know that was the card where there was 3 title fights and they all went 5 rounds. So it was a very long night.
Yeah,
and I know how I felt.
What card was that?
It was 245, December 2019.
Volkanovski,
Nunes, GDR. Nunes for the GDR. That was a very close fight as well, remember?
All
then
5
Volkanovski
rounds.
all the way the first one, all 5 rounds. And then Usman Colby. And I remember being around 5, saying, fuck.
That has to feel good.
We can't lose to this guy. No, I mean before the knockdown. I remember because first, okay, we watched the fight round 1 and 2. I'm like, this fight is kind of close. I didn't think it would be that close. Round 3, Usman kind of pulled off, right? Jaw broke. We're like, okay, cool, we're chilling.
But round 4, Kobe came back.
I said, oh!
round 5, Kobe started solid. Kobe started solid. Yeah.
Bro, I'm in Nigeria. And I've convinced all my friends, like all my friends don't watch MMA, do you understand? I'm like, Usman is guy. And me and Yagi were doing a campaign that time. Like, Usman wasn't appreciated enough. Easy was getting more shine than him. And he was the one that put Nigeria on his back. I'm like, bro, we can't lose to Kobe.
But you and Yagi go that back? You used to go back like that?
Yeah, we go. I said, we can't lose to Kobe. And I'm just like, God, hey, what's up? Of all the people to lose to, it's not Kobe I can lose to.
Well, so Mayo, You are going
Right.
to be watching that fight in Nigeria as well again, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing a thing in my house to watch party stuff in my house.
All right.
But so
Mhm.
I said it to say I can't forget how I felt in that fight and how happy I was when Kobe was knocked out. Kobe is very, very tough. See, forget what anybody say.
Mhm.
And styles make fights. This fight specifically is the type of fight that's going to be. I feel like if they fought 10 times, it will happen the same way. The difference I see in this fight is that Usman is more precise with his striking, and he can apply his striking better, right? So, and for me, that just means that I feel like Usman will knock him out a little bit earlier. But now that being said, you have to understand the heart of a man. Have you ever argued with your friend before and you talked a lot of rubbish? You talked a lot of trash before the thing happened. Maybe it's like FIFA or something, right? You know how you feel. Kobe's life depends on this fight. His whole career is tied to this because his whole claim to victory, apart from his interim belt, which he won, by the way, which people are now saying he beat a lightweight, right? His biggest claim to being a top level contender in this division is that he fought Usman in a close fight. So I know that Kobe's always talking shit all the time. When last have you seen him posting? Kobe's working hard. I mean, I know that he's working on this. They're not going to wrestle. Forget all those. Kobe might try to wrestle early, maybe just to test the vibes of the fight. He's not going to wrestle. They're going to go there and strike. And I know that Kobe's working. Those MMA guys, Yagi might not like them, but they have decent striking in that gym. Baeza is a dog, and Baeza is going to be giving him those looks. Baeza has good striking. So if he's sparring Baeza and all those boys in that gym, they're going to give him good looks.
All right.
Kobe has a good chin as well. I just think, listen, I'm not going to say Kobe can beat Usman. I don't think he can. And the reason I think that Usman wins this fight is because, like I said earlier, Usman is just slightly better than Kobe. Everything that Kobe does, Usman does better, right? But man, Usman is not. Don't sleep on Kobe. This is going to be an exciting fight.
You know, we're talking about jitters when watching a fight, edge sitter, nail biter, all that thing. Yeah, there was a tweet that Yagi made that ended up on MMA Junkie tweet Instagram page about if you're actually into a fighter, you would be like tensed when he's fighting. How was the words? My Yagi, how was the words again?
You're not a fan of a fighter that you shake uncontrollably when he fights.
Actually, do you know that yesterday when Victoria and Costa were fighting, I felt that I was into that fight, bro. I was in the fourth round. I was like, what? I was literally like cheering Victoria, and I did not know I wanted Victoria to win until that fight started. Actually, I think maybe it has something to do with Costa's entrance. But yeah, let's circle back to Kamaru Usman. Quick predictions. Mario, a prediction, Yagi prediction, and then we'll move on.
I think Usman gets it done round 4. I think it's going to be back and forth round 1, round 2. I think round 3 he starts pulling away. He might get a late stoppage round 3, or by round 4, I think gets to go out of there round 4 in a very, very interesting, intriguing fight.
And Mayowa, sorry, Yagi, your predictions, please.
So I actually rewatched that fight this morning when I was at the gym running. And one thing I noticed is Kobe is southpaw. And with his southpaw, he was eating a lot of jabs from Usman that first fight. I personally think Kobe's coming to wrestle. I feel Kobe lived with Masvidal for years. They fought. Kobe never dropped Masvidal. He saw right there what Usman did to Masvidal. Kobe's coming to wrestle. I think Kobe will get a takedown in this fight. And that will be his calling card. I'm the only one who took Usman down. Don't be surprised if Usman actually pulls a submission. I have 2 predictions. One by sub in the first round. That is something I'm saying because Kobe, his whole fixation will be, let me get this takedown, And nobody has really seen Usman on his back. Usman is a black belt in BJJ. Trevor Whitman has been busy with Rose and Gaethje. Usman has been spending time with his BJJ coach. That's one thing I always knew. I was like, Santiago, yes. Jorge Santiago, he's been spending a lot of time with him.
That's an interesting thing.
The only other thing I can see is Usman starts his body work early on Kobe. He went to train with Lima brothers. Those Lima brothers are good for kicks, body kicks.
Well, I'm gonna add something for you, yeah. You know, you spoke about Kobe fighting as a southpaw, and there's a thing about when he was in American Top Team. That was his former gym, yeah. When he was with American Top Team, that he likes to wrestle from southpaw, right? He stands southpaw because of his attack to wrestle, you know, to fake takedowns and to go for takedowns. And then there was a thing before he fought Woodley about his new gym turning him to an orthodox fighter.
They were just talking, trying to confuse Woodley because Woodley and Colby have trained before. Colby fought Woodley as a southpaw too. So they were just trying to talk to confuse Woodley. Colby is a southpaw and he's always been a southpaw. That's why it's very hard to catch him with the right hand because he always has that defense off. Body kicks is going to, you will see Usman throw a lot more body kicks this fight. He's going to attack that body and start early.
I mean, he threw a lot last time too. I don't know. He threw a lot of
tips. He threw a lot of tips last time.
Tips and
but
body.
This one, I'm going to prove.
Against Burns, I saw some few kicks. His
but this time we're going to see a lot more.
Yeah, well,
a lot more body kicks to
honestly,
Colby.
I feel like Usman's legs are weak.
Ask Colby. See, you know what's crazy? And this one, I feel like people underrate Usman. People underrate Usman when they say that he has improved so much. Like it sounds like a compliment, but people underrate his skills because people haven't watched Usman. Me and Yagi, we've watched everything Usman has done over and over and over, right? There's no technique you see Usman doing that he has not done before. None. The only thing that he has improved, and even Whitman has said this a long time, like it just made him refine a little bit better. Move your head a little bit better, move your footwork, things like that. In terms of the strikes, Usman's best strike is his best strike from when he started fighting. Is the straight right. That's his best strike, right? He doesn't throw a lot of hooks, right? He throws a lot of leg kicks. He throws a lot of what does it throw? He has a very very strong jab. Always had a strong jab. Right?
Yeah.
And those things haven't changed, right?
Well, the thing about me saying his legs are weak is the fact that he has had like many surgeries on his knees. He has
get that though.
He has also said that his cardio is not from running. He only runs in the water.
Yeah.
He can't run because obviously of his knees. And he kind of has that John Jones statue of tiny legs, skinny legs, and big upper body. And honestly, it's just me. Anytime you see him training, you see him with knee guards, knee braces, or whatever those things are called. And be illegal now.
But the Barbella people are going to come for you, trust me.
Oh yeah. Nah, I don't feel that matter. Now wait till make me they talk say in knee, be like say in knee.
But you know what? You guys remember that right before he fought Burns, after Masvidal's fight, he went to Colombia. I think that, and it's not a surprise that he has improved a little bit better. Like he started going for the fight a little bit more since that
therapy,
that Colombia trip.
That therapy,
he did. For them, I think it's like
it's illegal in America.
Stem cells,
yeah.
Stem cells,
yeah. Hey guys, we don't drag this topic.
Sorry.
We don't drag this
I
topic.
never give my prediction. Sure, I know.
You don't do them now.
I have two predictions.
Oh, you don't do submission. Oh yeah, the next one. Okay.
Submission first round, but then I feel like if that doesn't happen, Usman will walk that body of Colby early. And third round, right hand, overhand right hand, flush on the chin. Colby will just, you see how Brazil fell when Wilder knocked him out. That is how Colby will fall. He will just slump. Boom. End of story. Kamaru jump cage. Just a matter.
that one go too hard too.
Baba, imagine say that kind of thing happen. Waiting Colby go talk. Hey, voila.
Colby will go down to 155.
But the thing be say, Colby still after that first knockout, he won't get anything to talk. He just they push this agenda of no spoke, illegal waiting, quick stoppage. I did not break my jaw.
No, but you guys know after that Colby is a troll as well.
Yes. And then somebody like Chael Sonnen, they push the agenda too. You understand? They do this pro wrestling shtick.
No, you guys
of selling a fight. You
guys need to be fair.
It's kind of annoying when you can see what they are doing.
Fair. Wait, you guys need to be fair, right? It was a close fight. Like I don't know why people like to. It was a very close fight. That fight could have been rematched immediately and wouldn't have complained. That's the truth. Nah. Let's just face it that one and put it out. That's the truth. Now,
after
obviously,
broken jaw.
Listen. You will say he broke his jaw. You will say he's a challenger, and challengers don't get rematches immediately. That's fair, right? That's fair. But based on the fight, let's forget agendas. Based on that fight, the way you saw it, but that's the fight you want to see again.
Yeah,
There's no way around it.
All right,
now,
all right.
obviously, okay, finish.
No. I won't be round up the team, but go ahead.
I mean, that's what I think it was a close fight, and I think that people take Kobe too seriously. Kobe is funny to me. Like Kobe says the same. Kobe has the script. He says the same thing over and over again. He's just saying it over and over.
I'm a pro wrestling fan.
You know one thing I really like from
I'm a pro
Usman?
wrestling mark.
One thing I really like from Usman is before the first fight, Usman had this. You could sense the tension from Usman to fight Kobe. It's a fight he's always wanted. But if you look at his interviews recently, it's almost like there's this calm confidence.
He's chilling.
He's just chilling. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, you're still fighting Kobe, who kind of give you, like Mario said, kind of give you a tough fight.
But at the same time, remember how there was so much bad blood between Usman and Kobe. And during their press conference before the last fight, Usman was calm. And me, I was angry for Usman. You understand? Usman was calm. And Usman go come waka go cage. He go dey dance. He go dey calm. He go dey do mellow like this. Even he get one interview where Joe Rogan they dance like Usman. But the thing is, that calmness you're talking about, he has always been talking about putting his headspace in that realm. You understand? Even when he was supposed to over exaggerate when Kobe was being a dick to him. Kobe had, we really need to move away from this topic. And let me just end this on this note. I cannot wait for the press conference.
Man, bro, I'm so excited about this fight. My number one fight this year, let me just say, my number one fight this year is this fight. My number two fight is Leo Masvidal. These are my two best fights this year. Before they even happen, I don't care how the fight plays out. These are my best fights this year.
I have a question for you guys. Go ahead. I have a question.
I swear, I want to end this segment. Go ahead.
God forbid, though.
Masvidal win, Kobe win. Now what you want?
You give me Usman rematch.
No. See, Usman has transcended. They'll give me a rematch immediately. Trust me.
You think say Kobe go agree?
Kobe go do what he want. They'll strip Kobe.
It don't matter if you no agree.
They go strip him straight.
Guys, sharp. See, they go. I beg. No, we leave this.
Okay.
Now we only get like 9 minutes left.
Come on, Africans!